Okay, so welcome to Ancient Arts. Ancient Arts is a Chinese Wing Chun Kung Fu school. And basically we call Ancient Arts East-West Wing Chun Kung Fu. The reason why we call it East-West is basically we take what we've learned from the East as far as China and Hong Kong area and brought it back to the West. So basically what I learned here in the West. So we combine the best of the East and best of the West. So we teach traditional Wing Chun Kung Fu as taught by Ip Man to Ip Ching. So I'm actually the Ip Ching lineage. I learned directly under Ip Man's son, Ip Ching. I started my Wing Chun training in the late 80s, and both my son and I have traveled and studied throughout China. So we have the best of both worlds. Here at Ancient Arts, we teach Wing Chun is practical, but we also teach Chin Na, which is like joint locks. We teach throws from Sui Shao, and we teach some wrestling. So we cover all ranges, from grappling to wrestling to striking, and all different ranges. We also teach acupuncture points, pressure points, and we teach a lot about anatomy and physiology. So in other words, coming to Ancient Arts is basically like going back to school. So it's more than just kicking and punching a bag. You're going to learn a lot about history. You're going to learn a lot about philosophy. We study the Tao Te Ching. We study Confucius Analect, the I Ching. So you're going to learn all of those things. We're going to learn muscles. We're going to learn about the skeletal system. We're going to learn how to locate certain acupuncture points and pressure points throughout the body. So coming to Ancient Arts is like your first college, and it's a lifetime college. So the more you go, the more you learn, and it's something that you can take with you wherever you go. Okay, so also here in Ancient Arts, we teach a lot about the wooden dummy. So the wooden dummy, what we call in Chinese, is called Mu Qian Zhang, which basically means wooden man. So the wooden man replicates an actual person. So when we train with the dummy, we think of this dummy as being alive. And so as it being alive, we practice hitting the dummy, but the key to working with the dummy is basically sticking to the dummy. In other words, we want to stay connected as much as possible. Notice that the dummy basically has 3 arms. So these arms actually represent the arm, but this lower arm could actually represent a kick as well as a knee. The misconception of the dummy is that these actually represent the forearm, but they can also represent the shoulder arm, in other words, the humerus bone. So they could be the radius and ulna, or they could be the humerus. So when we train on the dummy, we practice sticking and we practice staying connected, but we practice utilizing a lot of energy in short distances, and that's what we've learned in the Silam Dao. Our first form is basically practicing staying connected and sticking and being able to utilize a lot of power in short range. So here at Ancient Arts, or East-West Wing Chun Martial Arts School, we actually go by a sash system. So you have anywhere from white, and the top is actually a gold sash. And so you test, each time you test, you do a written test and you do a practical test. And over here, we basically have our certificate board. So each time you test, you get a certificate. And it's recognized here as well as in Hong Kong and China. So it's written in English and in Chinese. So each time you test, you get a certificate, and we have also a wooden dummy test, and we have a test on the knives as well as the long pole. Okay, so one of the things that we learn in the Wing Chun system is when we practice on the wooden dummy, we want to be able to apply, in other words, all our motions and our movement and our applications with an opponent. So we practice with the dummy, then we want to be able to apply it with an opponent. So I'll give you an example. So like over here, we're going to start like say with the second section. So we pak. So pak in Chinese means to slap. So when I'm here and I shift, I pak. And then this hand replaces. Paks, and then pak. And then I pak again, fox out punch, pak, fox out punch. So the pak basically is a slap. And we want to stay connected. In other words, we want the pak to sustain. In other words, so we feel it inside. So when we shift again, we pak here, pak, pak, pak here, shift, pak, fox out, shift. Now, the important thing with the wooden dummy is that when we work with the dummy, we want to be able to shift. So you'll see a lot of times people will just stay stationary. That's not right. We have to be able to move. Our feet aren't stuck in cement, so we've got to be able to move. So when I'm here, I shift to the side. I shift to the side. I shift. Then I shift back, fox out, punch, pak, fox out, shift back. So you got to go from side to side. So shifting doesn't only mean you're just shifting your body, but you're also shifting your body weight. So for example, if he throws a punch at me, I pak like this, and I keep it out of the way. And so I can also come in here and pak the other side. So I can also fox out. If he blocks it, if he doesn't block it, I hit him in the nose or the throat or the eye socket. But if he blocks it, I can turn around and shift and come to punch him the other way. I can elbow, or I can actually go high or low. Now, the greatest thing about the second section is if he throws a punch, I can just fox out, or we call it jut sao, and then fox out coming in. So right away, I can use this to apply in a fighting situation. If he throws a hook, I can jut and fox out. So whether he throws it on one side or the other, I can catch it and fox out and come in. So if he throws a punch, he throws another punch, and I can also use this to lock him up too. So this is called Chun. So I can use this to throw him as well. So it takes time and it takes timing, but you have to practice over and over and over until you get it. So the more you practice on the dummy, then you work on an opponent.